In this video, we are going to talk about KPIs, key performance indicators. So let's dive in and get started. Let's talk about why KPIs are a product manager's best friend. They give you a clear, measurable way to track success and communicate that to your team and stakeholders. Now imagine this, you are rolling out a shiny new feature, a product recommendation engine on your website. The goal? To get users to actually interact with those recommendations and make their shopping journey smoother. So what's the KPI here? It could be the percentage of users interacting with recommendation feature in the first month. If the KPI shows high interaction rates, congratulations, you have got a hit. But if the numbers are low, it's time to investigate. Maybe the feature is not visible enough on the page, or perhaps the recommendations are as random as your shuffle playlist on a Monday morning. Okay, that was funny. Let's get serious. The beauty of tracking a KPI like this is that it acts as an early warning system. After all, what's the point of a great feature if no one knows it's there? Setting KPIs is not just about picking metrics at random. One very effective way to do this is with a KPI tree. Think of KPI tree as starting with main goal, then branching out into smaller KPIs that support this main goal. Let's walk through an example of an e-commerce website where the main business goal is revenue growth. And we want the revenue to become 3 times of the current revenue in 2 years. That's ambitious, right? But it's good to be ambitious sometimes. Alright, so revenue becomes the root in the KPI tree. Now, revenue growth in e-commerce generally comes from 3 key drivers. First, by increasing the number of visitors on the website. Second, by boosting conversion rates. And third, by raising average order value. Each of these drivers can now become a branch on our KPI tree. Next, the question is, how do we increase average order value? Well, this comes from either increasing the average quantity or average unit price or both. So average quantity and average unit price are now added as branch nodes. Similarly, we can do this exercise by asking how can the conversion rate be increased? Perhaps the answer is by increasing add to cart and overall checkout rate. So when you finish this exercise, you may end up with a tree very similar to the one shown on the screen, with root being revenue and having 3 child nodes, visitors, average order value, and conversion, and then further child nodes. Once you have the tree ready, all you have to do is assign the numbers that you want to achieve in 2 years. And then keep moving and tracking towards those smaller KPIs to achieve the bigger main goal. So to summarize, using a KPI tree not only clarifies which metrics to focus on, but also ensures that each KPI directly supports your product and business goals. Now let's look at some common pitfalls. First is vanity metrics. Now these are numbers that look good on the surface, like total app downloads or total number of views for a video on YouTube, but do not necessarily indicate success. Instead, tracking active users or average watch time will show if people are sticking around after the first step. Second is output versus outcome. Here the mistake is setting KPIs that track output rather than outcome. For example, a company might boast about the number of A/B tests run, but what's more useful is tracking the conversion rate uplift from those tests. It's not about how many tests you ran, it's about the impact of those tests on your product. Third is setting and forgetting. Don't set KPIs once and forget them. If you release a major feature that changes user behavior, then revisit your KPIs to make sure they still align with your new product goals. In this section, we show you 8 key business areas and the KPIs that help measure success within each one. While we won't cover all the business areas in detail here, we have put together a complete list of KPIs for each area, which you can find in the comment section of this video. Now, let's dive into 2 important ones, starting with marketing. Marketing is all about driving engagement, conversions, and value. Some of the key KPIs for measuring success in marketing include conversion rate, the percentage of users completing a desired action such as signing up or making a purchase; customer retention rate, This is the percentage of customers who stay with your business over a given period. Click-through rate, the percentage of users clicking on a link or ad showing how engaging your content is. Cost per lead, this is the cost of acquiring a single lead. And return on marketing investment, this is the revenue generated for every dollar spent on marketing. So these KPIs offer valuable insights into how well your marketing efforts resonate with your audience. If you think we missed an important one in marketing, let us know in the comment section below. Next, let's look at KPIs for customer support. Here, the focus is on resolving customer issues quickly and effectively while ensuring satisfaction. Key KPIs here include response time. This is the average time it takes to respond to a customer query, which reflects your team's responsiveness. Resolution time. This is the average time taken to resolve an issue, highlighting your team's efficiency in problem solving. Customer satisfaction score. A measure of customers' happiness after a support interaction. This is typically collected through feedback surveys. Now, these KPIs are essential for delivering a great customer experience and building loyalty. If there are specific KPIs you think we should include, let us know in the comment section below. So that's all for today. I hope this video has clarified how to set and measure meaningful KPIs that drive real growth.